have to tell you, I'm a little bit curious about these tuners. As it turns out, they're not like other tuners that have screws on the top of the buttons. They go right into the body. And what I'm going to do is take off the B string, because I think it's the one with the least number of winds that I can get back on there if I need to use it for testing and or cutting the bone nut down when I replace it. So there's enough string here to put it back on, and they don't use that locking mechanism that I do, so I can get that off. And now I can take the screws out and see if I can take a look inside at the gears and find out if it's a lack of lubrication or it's a grease that they've already put in there that's kind of gotten, don't lose that, old and sticky, which is causing all these buttons to stick, or is it just pressure? No, even without the string pressure, it's sticky. And I'll gain a little experience with these pickups. Yeah, the furl goes in the front. Ooh, there it is. Oh, look at that. No lubrication at all. Now these don't look any different than the ones from Music Lily. They showed an inside look like this on their website at these gears, steel and brass. And this looks exactly like those. There is a little bit of play between them, but that little bit of play is just the way this shaft is secured in that little bit of a clip. This is the multi-purpose grease that I've used for quite a while. Ultra Slick synthetic grease for auto, home, and power sports, and basically that's what I've been using it on. And sometimes little bits like this, and it's so old, it's been in my garage, it's all cracked here, and the grease is coming out the bottom instead of, I don't even have to take the top off to do this. So I'm just going to put a little lube in here, turn this around and see if it smooths it out at all. And it does. Let's see if I need any around that. Oops, I dropped that. Let's not get grease everywhere around the shaft. Oh, that screw can be adjusted. I wonder if it is tighter, will it work better? Oh, yes it does. So let's just see. I think that this brass cam is holding the shaft in that little area. Aha! And there's a small washer at the bottom. It's plastic. between the cam and the bottom of this shaft, which has sort of a double D on the sides, which is how that works. So, is that forced in? Yeah, okay, good. So, oh no, that comes out also. Everything comes apart. All right. Let's get all the pieces. That comes out like that. Will I get it back in? I don't know. Yeah, I can. Okay. So the cam does hold it in place like that. So, if I can lubricate all of this area, it might just work a lot better. Now there's this little plastic washer that seems to be deformed a little bit. It's wrinkly. Oh, it's not plastic, it's metal. My mistake. And it's used to create pressure with the screw against the back of the cam. Okay. Got it. I got it, but there's no lube anywhere on these parts. None, 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 none. Alright, let me just put a little bit on the top of this here where that washer is going to be. And we'll put a little bit around where it's going to spin. Alright, you just go there. It's going to spin right here on this circumference as it goes through that plate. So that goes on there. I think I need 3 hands for this. And that goes on there. And then that D fits on there. Like that. I think I forgot one step. Put some on the back of the cam. While it's out, there's no point in skimping on it. Get that D in there. Don't need any on the screw. This could be a little bit of a rework. I could save it. Okay, I feel the pressure. Wow. Wow. That works perfectly. Wow. Wow. There's no skipping and there's no slack. Whew. Let's see what happens if I tighten it. Oh, look at that. I can tighten that down. Snug. Oh man, that's going to work good. The way it fits in this post is still just a little bit off. I think the machining, the bending, or however they did this, it just allows the tuning key, the worm gear, this is called, to move a little bit in here, but no more sticking. Oh. Okay, I know what to do. I'm going to put this one back on. Okay, snug. Oh, alrighty then. Let's see what we can do with this string going back on. These are really crazy tuners. Oh yeah, that makes all the difference in the world. The other ones are doing all that sticking. And this one rocks back and forth more than some of them. That one rocky, this one's rocky, that one's rocky, that one's rocky. So we've got two that are not as rocky. They're like pretty solid actually. Well, that could be because of the higher tension. Oh, that's so smooth now. Really good. So I want to use these strings to cut the new nut. So I measured this. This is basically 3 millimeters wide. My bone nuts are about 3.5, 3.6 millimeters wide, so I'm going to have to sand off a little bit of the edge and probably, you know, readjust the height and everything. So I've chosen the bone nut. It's a little whiter than the one that's in there. That one looks like an aged white. And we'll have to make it a little skinnier, so the first thing we're going to have to do is get these strings out of the way. That looks like it's glued. We're just going to do the little tappy tap. Oh boy. Oh boy, what did they do? These things usually come out pretty easy. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, they put quite a dose of glue down there in that back section, which will likely need to be cleaned out a little bit with the file. Alright, let's compare heights. Really, really, really close. My bone nut is just a tiny bit lower than that one. Just a freaking millimeter, which will make a lot of difference in the height over the first string. But we're going to try to see anyway. Always sand the back. Whoops. Try not to bugger up your hands at the same time. Now it's just a breath away. There, let's see. This G string, let me just hook it over there. Might not be interfering as much. Another hair's breadth. Oh yeah. Alright, we're closer, much closer. And I can see how the slots are way lower than they were before. So let's do a test. Well, I like the look of this nut better. Now that one is not too bad over the first fret, or that one, or that one. These are a little bit low. Now, in order to make sure that both ends are looking okay, you have to again look at the height of the action. Change to the close-up glasses. Down here. So this hasn't changed. It's actually slightly, yeah, that's right, on the 4. That's a little bit lower than the 4. And that one is very low, which means that that one can go up a little bit. Will this fit that? It will. Okay, now how's the truss rod doing? The truss rod has more relief in it than I would normally set it for. Okay, we have two. The low E and the A are just a little bit too low over that first fret. The other option I have is building up the nut with a little bit of crazy glue and baking soda trick to bring those up. The other ones are kind of okay. Let's see what gauge strings these are. Zero that out. Change that to inches. That says 8. It says 10 down there. And 8. And 7. Wow. Strings are all over the place. That's 8 up there. And what's this one? 40. 39. 40. So I'm guessing it's 8 to 40. I don't have anything that thin. I think I have 9s. 9s maybe, and some 9/5s. Do I still have 9/5s? I can't remember. And a lot of 10s. And depending on the set of strings that go on the neck, that will require readjusting truss rod because of the tension. The heavier the gauge strings, the more pressure it is pulling on the neck to bend it forward. Yeah, I have to think about what I'm going to do with this headstock over here. What kind of space do I have to fill stuff in there? It can be done. Come on. I can hang it off the side like that and bridge this with some tape and dab some baking soda in there, and then give it a drop of crazy glue, and I think it's going to work okay. Dirty hands again. So I have acquired my little bit of baking soda on the spoon. And my little Aura Dent toothpick. Put it in there. From the last time I did this with my firefly nut, when you put this in, it kind of melts it in a little bit. I mean, that's all it takes, is that tiniest little bit. And now we'll just let it sit for a while until it hardens right to the bottom. See what we came up with. Alright, that's pretty good. I have a little bit of a lip there. Have to work that off. Then softer. Alright, I'm going to go and work it off on my sanding block. And now, which is on my other bench, and now I'll come back here. The 220 on my block did a really quick job of that. Got it down really smooth. It's really flat on both sides, so it's filled in the top of the nut completely, which is what I need for the string to be right up at the top of this edge. And now I just have to cut a small angle at the back to give me my break angle. Yep, that did it. Okay, I believe now I can remove the neck, remove the tuners, do the lubrication, reinstall, do the fretwork, or fretwork and tuners, one or the other. I went across these last night with my fret rocker, and there are several places along the neck.